So welcome back to the video lecture on circuits and networks. This is actually the 8th video of module 1, and today we are discussing Thevenin theorem and Norton theorem together for applying in problems where dependent sources are present. Actually, why we are applying these two theorems together, or why we are doing together means we are solving one problem with both Thevenin theorem and Norton theorem, because if dependent sources are appearing, the procedure are almost very similar. If you have done Thevenin theorem, by doing a simple step more, you can solve Norton theorem also. So we can save time by taking the class. But in exam, if Thevenin theorem is only asked, you don't need to go for Norton theorem and do the entire analysis. For study purpose, I am arranging or mixing these two things together. You will get understood, or you will make sense while going into the class, because why I did so. So up to the moment we have discussed Thevenin theorem and Norton theorem statement and simple problems, and in all those problems only independent sources were present. But from now onwards we are discussing about the problems with dependent sources. Okay. So problem with a dependent source, solution using Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem. So what was RThevenin? RThevenin was the equivalent resistance that viewing from the open circuited terminals with all the sources are suppressed by its internal resistance. Is it clear? What is NRN or Norton or equivalent resistance? RN. It was also same. Both the definitions were same. You have to look back to the open circuited terminal and you have to suppress all the sources with its internal resistance. So what is the case? This is the case RThevenin and RN. In Thevenin or in Norton, equivalent resistances are same. What is the difference? In one case you are connecting that resistance with series, and in case of Norton you are going to connect that resistance with the current source in parallel. Only difference is that, but the way of calculating RThevenin and RN both are equal or same. So we can say RThevenin is equal to RN. RThevenin or RN is the resistance while considering open circuited load terminal as a reference. We have to look back through open circuited load terminals by suppressing all the sources with its internal resistance. This definition is also already explained in the previous classes. This is just a brush up. But we can suppress dependent sources. That is the case. In case of independent sources, we can just replace a voltage source with open circuit, and we can just replace a current source with short circuit. But it cannot be done in case of dependent source, because dependent sources are depending on some other branch values, its resistance and so on. So we cannot suppress simply by replacing with its internal resistance. So that is the case. So how we can find RThevenin without by having the sources in the circuit itself? Any idea how we can find? Because there is a simple idea. Because we are finding all things with respect to the open circuit terminals. If this is the open circuit terminals, we are assuming that we are connecting a battery here and we are giving a current into the circuit, and we are finding equivalent resistance. So for finding equivalent resistance in another way, I want the voltage across these terminals and current across these terminals. This voltage and current will give resistance. Resistance is nothing but voltage by current. So in such case, RThevenin or RN is equal to VOC by ISC. What is VOC? What is VOC? VOC is the voltage across the open circuited terminals. In Thevenin's theorem, you call that VOC as VThevenin. You made the output terminals open circuited and you determine the voltage across the terminals, and that is named as VThevenin. But here it is VOC. VOC is equal to voltage at open circuited load terminals. VOC is determined for finding RThevenin or RN. Is just equal to VThevenin, because here you are finding VOC for determining RThevenin or R Norton. But the case is that this VOC is just similar to VThevenin. So you will get two benefits if you are calculating VOC. You can use it for RThevenin and you can also use it for VThevenin. Okay, next point, ISC. ISC is the current passing through the short circuit that placed at the open circuited load terminals. If it is the open circuited load terminals, you should place a short circuit here and find the current passing through this branch, and that is known as ISC. This is also known for you. In Norton's theorem, you named this ISC as IN. So, if you are finding ISC for calculating RThevenin, you will get another benefit that you do not need to calculate IN again, Norton again. So now I think you are making some sense. So whether it may be Thevenin theorem or Norton theorem, first step you have to calculating RThevenin, and from that RThevenin you will get some additional benefit, like if it is Thevenin theorem you will get VOC, if it is Norton theorem you will get ISC. This is why I organized this lecture like this. Okay. So IOC is simply IN. So procedure to find VThevenin or IN are just same as that with independent sources. The procedure are just same, but the case is that you don't go for that. You will get these values directly from the calculation of RThevenin or R Norton. So I am arranging a step-by-step procedure, dependent sources problem solution step by step. So first two steps are common steps. Okay, in first step, normally what we are going to do, we want to find RThevenin. So find the VOC. For finding RThevenin, first step is you are going to find VOC. VOC means you have to make the terminal, if there is a branch here and you are asked to find some value through the branch, this is the load branch. So you just remove the load branch and find the voltage across these terminals. That will give you VOC. And what is ISC? Second step. For finding RThevenin or R Norton. In case of Thevenin problem, you have to find RThevenin. In case of Norton problem, you are going to find R Norton. But both these values and both the procedure are same. So for whether it may be RThevenin or R Norton, first step is finding VOC and second step is finding ISC. How you can find ISC? ISC is the current passing through the short circuited load branch. So you have to put a short circuit across the load branch and find the current passing through it, and this current is known as ISC. So third step is simply find RThevenin or R Norton, that is equal to VOC by ISC. Fourth step, it is only for Thevenin case, because now if it is a Thevenin problem, now you are having RThevenin and the first step you got VOC or VThevenin. So you can simply draw the Thevenin equivalent diagram. Draw VThevenin in series with RThevenin. We know that VThevenin is equal to VOC that we obtained in the first step. VThevenin is equal to VOC that we obtained in the first step. And now you got the equivalent circuit. If you are having equivalent circuit, you can do any calculation. You can find current, you can find voltage, just similar in the previous classes what we have done. For Nortons, draw IN in parallel to RN. RN we already obtained in the third step. RN we already obtained in the third step. And IN we obtained in the second step. That IN is nothing but it is simply equal to ISC. Okay. So please brush up these things before going to problem. If you want time, just pause the video or just go to the previous portions of the video and just watch it one more. Then it will become very clear. So this is the problem. Using Thevenin, Norton theorems, find current passing through the load resistor. The load resistor is given directly in the problem in between A and B, 3 ohm. This is the RL or load resistor. And 2 Vx is the dependent source. It is actually a dependent current source because inside there is an arrow mark. It is a current source. And that current source is depending on some other voltage because 2 Vx, its value is depending on Vx, and Vx is the voltage across this 1 ohm resistor. So this current source is depending the voltage across this 1 ohm resistor. That is the case. So as we already discussed, we can suppress the dependent source with its internal resistance as it is unknown. So we cannot suppress the current dependent current source while finding RThevenin or R Norton. So I am following the steps. First step, we have to find VThevenin or VOC. Okay. I removed the load branch and I made the circuit open circuited. And what is VThevenin or VOC? As okay, I have removed the load branch and I want to find this VOC. And we know that as this side is open circuited, no current will pass from this point to this branch. So this 2 ohm is meaningless for in this case only. So I am removing that 2 ohm. And also, as no current is passing in between, this can be replaced with a short circuit. So this AB node and this branch will be in parallel after that, because no resistance is there in between the two top points. Okay, in next problem we can see, next slide we can see, because this point and this point are identical, so it is parallel. So as it is parallel, I have drawn it with the yellow color. It is not visible now. This branch will getting a same voltage of that of the load terminal. So VOC will appear across this branch also. Okay. Now I am going to applying node analysis. I think you remember the node analysis. It is somewhat related to KCL. And node A is marked in the figure. So for node analysis, we can see in this point of node A, the 2Vx is a current that coming towards the node. So as it is towards node, I have to take minus. And I1, that is, this is the I1. It is also marked with yellow color. This is the I1 that is coming from this voltage source towards the node. Okay. Not towards, sorry, it is going from away. Because while taking nodal analysis, we have to assume that all the currents are radiating towards outside. All the currents are radiating towards the node. That is the case. But here 2Vx is directly given. 2Vx is directly given, its direction is like that. Otherwise, we have to take all the current are going towards outside. I will just mark here. So I1 will be like this. I1 will be like this. It is going from node A to the 10 volt source. So its direction will be plus I1 as it is going towards outside. And 2Vx is coming towards inside. That's why it is given as minus 2Vx. Okay. So I1 minus 2Vx is equal to 0. Okay. Okay. I1 minus 2Vx is equal to 0. Both are currents. So what is the equation of I1? While applying nodal analysis, always we are taking the node voltage as higher voltage. We don't know what is the value of VOC, but still we are taking node voltage as higher voltages. That's why I told you that you have to take all the currents are going towards outside direction from the node. But 2Vx we can assume because it is simply given, it is coming towards the node. That's why minus 2Vx is taken. Otherwise, all the current will be positive. So what will be the value of I1? I1 is nothing but the current going from A to the 10 volt source. And the polarity of the node A will be positive because here also it is positive. So here also it is positive. So this is plus and this is also plus. So opposing polarities are coming closer. I will mark it for avoiding the confusions. This will be positive and this will be negative. For the node A, so or for the node A, voltage VOC appearing across node A, at the top point you have to assume plus polarity, at the bottom point you have to assume minus polarity. So if you are taking an arrow mark like this, it will appear minus 10 plus 2Vx. Sorry, not 2Vx. 2Vx is the current plus Voc at the top side. So I am simply saying if there is two voltage sources, one is Voc, that is node voltage, and other one is 10 volt, and the plus and plus are coming closer, coming on the nearby side, you have to take it as Voc minus 10. Okay, otherwise you have to take Voc plus 10. If it is minus on the top side and you are seeing plus minus plus, that is, if you are tracing the arrow mark, you will give minus plus here. Here, if you are drawing an arrow mark, you can see minus plus, here plus minus. So that they are in opposing polarity. So we are taking Voc minus 10. Otherwise, we have to take Voc plus 10. Please refer nodal analysis if you are having any doubt. So Voc minus 10 by 1. Why we have taking by 1? Because it is current. We have to apply Ohm's law, voltage by resistance. In this branch, resistance is in between these two sources, Voc and 10, resistance is 1 ohm. So Voc minus 10 by 1 minus 2Vx. Minus 2Vx we can directly write because it is a current value. Even though it is depending on voltage, it is a current value. Minus 2Vx is equal to 0. So we will get, by solving that, Voc minus 2Vx is equal to 10. Voc minus 2Vx is equal to 10. So I got one equation. We want to find Voc, but there is a variable Vx. So I have to find one more equation. For finding the one more equation, I am using only this inner loop. Okay. So I am applying KVL in this inner loop. KVL in this inner loop. So for applying KVL, I have to check the voltage of all the elements. This element is having 10 volt. This element, the voltage is given as Vx. I am not minding about the resistance value. And in this element, the current is 2Vx and resistance is I don't know. So I have to check what is the voltage. The voltage is directly given as Voc. So three voltages are given. So simply apply KVL. Minus 10 plus Vx plus Voc. Because in the arrow mark direction I am first seeing minus 10. For Vx I am seeing plus earlier. For the Voc I am seeing plus at first in the direction of that arrow mark. So minus 10 plus Vx plus Voc is equal to 0. So Vx plus Voc is equal to 10. I got two equations. Here you can simply check how I am solving these two equations. I am not using calculator and all. I am multiplying the second equation with a constant 2. Then 2Vx. By summing these equation 1 and new equation, 2Vx become cancelled. So 3Voc is equal to 30. And Voc is equal to 10 volt. You can also use calculator for solving this equation, no issues. So for step 1 I got Voc. Now it is the time for finding Isc in step 2. So as we need to find Isc, we have to simply check about the current only, because this is the Isc. This is the Isc, short circuit current. From this point it is Isc. And this current 2Vx is coming towards this direction, and as it is plus here, normally a current will be coming from this direction also. In nodal analysis, you assume the currents in some different fashion, because in nodal analysis always you are assuming that node voltage is high. But this is not like that. Here you are simply looking, as it is plus is here, current may be coming towards from this plus terminal, and this current direction is also given. So I can simply apply KCL like this. Here current is coming towards this node and current is coming from this node to this node, and Isc is generating from this node. This is the same case. I am just highlighted a portion of the figure. So Isc is equal to I1 plus 2Vx. Simply Isc is equal to I1 plus 2Vx. Simply KCL, Kirchhoff current law. So this is I1. Okay, this is I1, and that is passing through a 1 ohm resistor and it is producing Vx. So V is equal to IR. I1 into this 1 ohm will give Vx. V is equal to voltage is equal to current into resistance. I1 into 1 ohm will give Vx. Then I1 is equal to Vx by 1 ohm. You can simply say I1 is Vx. That is the link. Now all the current are in terms of Vx. Isc is equal to Vx plus, in first step, Isc is equal to I1 plus 2Vx. In second step, we got I1 is equal to Vx itself. So in third step, I am substituting I1, Vx for I1, then Isc is equal to Vx plus 2Vx, then Isc become 3Vx. Now also problem is not solved. Now you got Isc is equal to 3Vx, but what is the value of Vx? So you have to create another equation, or you have to find what is the value of Vx. So for finding the value of Vx, we can use some KVL techniques, because this is the case with the short circuit. And one more case, don't take any values from the calculation of the previous open circuit case, because in that case it was open circuit and now it was short circuit. The entire VOC name will be V0, V same, VOC or Vx name will be same, but the values will be different. So don't take Vx from that case or like that. If it is short circuit, you have to do entire calculation. If it is open circuit also, you have to do calculations. Okay, to find Vx and apply KVL in the outer loop. Why I am applying outer loop? Because in outer loop, we already know that Isc is somewhat 3Vx. So Isc can be eliminated in terms of Vx. That's why I am taking the outer loop. So write the KVL equation of outer loop. This is the arrow mark. This is the arrow mark in clockwise direction. So minus 10 here, plus first, plus Vx here. I don't know voltage, but I know the current and resistance value. So I am multiplying 2 into Isc. Okay. Minus 10 plus Vx plus 2 into Isc is equal to 0. And Isc, that is 3Vx. So 2 into Isc becomes 6Vx. You have to write one more step here in the note. So now it is minus 10 plus Vx plus 6Vx is equal to 0. So 7Vx is equal to 10 and Vx is equal to 10 by 7. So now the things are clear. Vx is equal to 10 by 7 and Isc is equal to, in last page we got Isc is equal to 3Vx and Isc is equal to 3 into 10 by 7, that is equal to 30 by 7. Now you got Isc and Voc. It's the time to find RThevenin. RThevenin is equal to Voc by Isc. So 10 by 30 by 7. That is equal to 7 by 3 ohm. Okay. So RThevenin value is equal to 7 by 3 ohms. Now I am drawing Thevenin equivalent circuit. So for Thevenin equivalent circuit, in the first step I already got Voc is equal to 10 volt. So that is equal to VThevenin, and RThevenin we found in the third step. So I am mixing these two and connecting in series fashion, and I am replacing the removed load branch here. So the question is current across this branch. We can simply apply Ohm's law. I is equal to V by equivalent resistance. As these two resistors are connected in series, 10 by 3 plus 7 by 3, that is equal to 15 by 8 ampere. Okay. Now Norton equivalent. Norton equivalent, in Norton case, there is 30 by 7 ampere, that is the Isc or I Norton obtained, and 7 by 3 is the R Norton. Connect these two in parallel and connect the removed load branch here. And you have to find the I value, that is current passing through the load branch. So apply current division rule. Main current into resistance of opposite branch, 7 by 3 by total resistance, 3 plus 7 by 3. You will get same answer, 50 by 8 ampere. So same question is solved by using Norton's theorem and Thevenin's theorem. This may be taking a little bit time for understanding. You may think how we get what is the next step. You are going to find Isc, then you are finding Vx. No shortcuts for that. You have to do more and more problems. because for finding VSC and VOC and ISC, you may be applying KCL, KVL, all the things you know. That is a difficulty of a problem like a problem with dependent sources. So thorough practice is needed. So pause the portion where you are having confusions and do your own calculations, and you can ask me doubts. You can mail or WhatsApp me your doubts. Okay. Thank you. So we can see in the